I was going to do Black Lamp this week, but I decided I'll give that a little while longer. I just want a little bit more to play on it before I do a full video on it. And of course there's Euro 2016 on at the moment, so it makes sense to do a football game. But unfortunately I don't actually own I don't own an Atari ST European Championship football game, so well, I decided to pick one from the World Cup, and hence we find ourselves with this one. Italia 90 or Italy 90 was made in 1990 to coincide with the World Cup, which was being held in Italy at the time. Oddly, there are two games called Italia 90 on the system, one made by US Gold and this one which was made by Codemasters. I'm not sure why there are two totally different games under the same banner on the system and it was allowed, but strangely this one seems to have little to do with the football competition as there's no real player names or even a World Cup mode. You only get a little cup tournament. It's really strange as to why it's called Italia 19 at all. The game is a football soccer game which, funnily enough, sees you trying to beat your opponent over 90 minutes. Unusually the game can be played in a 4-player mode, however if you played this game then you probably wouldn't want to invite friends around. As an added bonus to the main 11-a-side mode, there's a soccer skills section. In it you play a bunch of mini games, such as push-ups, running, and taking penalties to name but a few. These are merely side distractions and really won't hold your interest long. But strangely, some of these sections have more graphical detail than the main football match mode. I'm not sure why they put more detail in here than but it looks like they did. This game solves the ST's inability to scroll the screen by simply not bothering. The camera does not move left and right, meaning that it flips from one camera to the next. It gives the impression that there are actually 3 smaller games of football going on, but only enough of the budget for one ball, and each and every time the player kicks it out, then their game stops and another one begins. It feels weird, especially when you play something like Sensible Soccer, Team, or European Champions already on the ST that perfectly scroll. Even the up-down scrolling is jerky, and the characters aren't drawn or animated particularly well. I mean, just look at the goalposts, it's just a rectangle. Couldn't they be bothered to draw a net? I mean, where's your artistic integrity here? But the game has a whole bunch of other problems totally separate to the lackluster sound and visuals, and I'm going to list them right now. When you're running downwards towards the opposition goal, don't bother shooting at the goal. A lot of the times it does this stupid arcing shot which always goes over the bar. Instead, just kick the ball to the left of the goal. When a player comes to kick the goal kick, you are able to stand in front of the kicker, which normally is disallowed in the rules of football, but that's not the only problem. If you do this and manage to hit the ball, it will loop up into the air, landing at your feet. Now, all the other players will be instantly stuck in place until you touch that ball, giving you a perfect opportunity to score a goal from close range. Number 2. There doesn't seem to be the offside or obstruction rules, so feel free to get in the way of free kicks. I've also noticed that on occasions where I've been fouled and a free kick is rewarded, sometimes the opposition player ends up kicking the ball simply because the ball was placed right at their feet. Obviously that's illegal in the rulebook, but it's not in this game. It seems to be anything goes. Number 3. Tackling is a joke. In most ST football games you can use the fire button to do the tackle. Sadly, this game was kind of half-assed and doesn't actually have a tackling animation, so you simply just touch the ball to tackle. That sounds simple enough, except you don't actually have to go round players to do this. You seem to have a unique ability to ghost right through players, or phase through players, and collect the ball right off them. Number 4. In the later levels of the tournament, the game ramps up the difficulty by simply making the opposition faster. When this happens, you won't be able to run away from them when you have the ball. Now, the way to get around this problem is that when someone is chasing you, change your direction slightly just as they're able to ghost through you. 9 times out of 10, they will end up fouling you, pretty much like clockwork, regardless whether you're in the penalty area or not. There doesn't seem to be any red or yellow cards in the game, so players seem happy to foul you every 2 seconds. Number 5. Never actually bother to pass the ball. It's rarely you'll find an opponent, and the AI offers so little resistance that you can just run in a straight line to the goal. Number 6. When you're running upwards towards the goal, there's a really simple way to score. Run directly upwards, and when you get close to the goalkeeper, lightly tap the fire button. The stupid AI will instantly dive despite the fact the ball has only travelled about a metre in front of the player. Now that the goalkeeper has dived and is on the floor, you can simply just run past him and walk the ball into the net. This works every time as long as you tap early enough. Number 7. In professional football, the half does not start until the player kicks the ball. However, in this game, the match starts as soon as the players are on the pitch, so the very second you see something, the game has already started. So, if you are 1-0 up, like I am here, starting the second half, you can simply do nothing and you win the game. The clock has already started. If you don't touch the ball, the other players just simply remain like statues unwilling to move. This trick actually works on any dead ball situation such as free kicks and penalties. So overall, yes, Italia 90 by Codemasters is not a good game. I would not recommend it. I only have it in a 4-pack of game, and I'm not sure if it was sold separately, but to be honest, the other 3 games in the pack aren't much better. So yeah, try Sensible Soccer, try Team, try European Champions. They're much better games. But anyway, let's get on and play this. I'm going to play the main cup mode. It's really short. It only actually takes 3 matches to win the tournament. So anyway, if you like this video, then feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, let's get on with the game.